Hello my friends and welcome back to Pathogenic. Hope you're all doing well. I've really been enjoying this game and I got great feedback playing it last time, so we're jumping in for a little bit more Pathogenic. I've played just a couple runs off camera and gotten a little bit further, but I'm still very much new to the game, so we're going to jump in and see if we can get ourselves a win. I'm going to go with the Bacterium here. I think that this is one of the more straightforwards and powerful characters that I have access to currently. Oh, and I need to put in another weapon, I guess, because we have 3 out of 3. So let's just add another caustic secretor. We'll just go with 5 of those. And then we're gonna jump in and see how far we can get. I will say that one thing, and I've mentioned this before as I've been playing, one thing in this game that I don't love is that, like a lot of roguelike, it has just pure stat upgrades as part of the meta progression, and so part of why I haven't gotten, towards the end of the game yet, I've gotten, I think, to the liver boss, the boss to it, is that you just need to grind in order to get the stat progression, which I personally don't love as a method of meta progression, but obviously many people do. But the game itself is really fun, so, I can forgive that. We'll run in here and spawns a powerful mine. Interesting. Or we could get the sympathetic detonator. Affected attacks explode when dashing. So I could make my weapons explode. That does seem pretty powerful. But let's go with the cyst depositor. And, okay, so we have to connect them to the sides here, but I think that's actually fine, and then I can have my 2 rare caustic excretors on the front, and because we took a bunch of the same weapon at the start, we can upgrade those. And then let's see, so if I shoot that, we get mines behind ourselves. Okay, interesting. Here, I could get a random weapon, I could turn a random external slot into a 40% damage slot, or just extra base speed. Let's go with the volatile receptor. Nice, okay, so it turned my 2 front-facing slots into extra damage. That's really good for us. We'll head over here. Enhancer upgrades any organelle to a higher rarity. Well, we don't get a choice here, but let's go ahead and get our epic caustic secretors. So now we've got a pretty powerful gun. I do like that the projectile size increases as well as we upgrade our weapons. So if you're not familiar with this game, I played it a couple times already, but only a couple, so very possible you haven't seen it. We are playing as an infection, trying to infect an unwitting human host. Some kind of biological researcher who dropped the wrong test tube. And of course, as you do, as all infections work, you do that with guns. Which, as a doctor, I think that's all doctors would agree that is how it works. Okay, so I could become the Corynebacterium parvum, a pear-shaped guy. We would have a few more external slots, especially at the back. I could become the Coccus. I could become the Bacillus magnus, who is very large and more of a broadside, like a naval bombardment. I think we'll go with the pear-shaped one. The extra stamina container I was really hoping for, and I like the fact that we get 4 slots in the front. And then we'll head over here. Pyrosome. Attack supply burn. Can I easily trigger that? I can, actually. So attack supplying burn seems pretty powerful. Fires a 3-shot burst, or orbiting blade strikes nearby enemies. Interesting. Let's go with the Pyrosome, and I'm going to apply this so that all of these types of attacks now apply burst. I could also do this. What if I put those in front and these at the back? Does this give me... Yeah, we have a lot of spread on those attacks, but it does mean that the mines go forwards, which is kind of nice. Maybe that's actually better than sending them backwards. I'm gonna buy the DNA here as well. We'll test out both combinations, and then actually we've done every room here, so I guess we're just straight on to the boss. Trying to stack up a bunch of burn, and we're kind of drifting the mines at the boss there. And yeah, I do like that the mines are going forwards now, and we can still hit the enemy with our side weapons, at least the large enemy. Okay, so I have no empty slots currently. I could get the Kite and Shield to block attacks, turn a chosen slot into a 40% damage slot. Can I... I'm gonna take this one. Can I do that? No, I can't. Okay. But let's turn the 2 front slots into plus 40% damage. Pretty happy with how this build is coming together so far. On to the intestine. So one thing that I am thinking I'm going to change compared to how I played this last time is we're going to clear the whole intestine, this like main room, before I do the side rooms, because I kept showing up in enemy projectiles, move slower, extra base speed, shop prices are cheaper. Let's go with... I'm going to go with enemy projectiles move slower, because I walk into projectiles a lot. I'm going to clear the whole of the large intestine before I do the side rooms here, because I kept like leaving the side room in my last run, and there would be an enemy right on top of me, and then I would just take damage immediately, so I think it may be safer to do it this way. And because we're a fully ranged build, we can kind of kite backwards down the whole length of the intestine, so it shouldn't be too dangerous, I think, to do it in this order. I'm not really sure how much damage we're getting from the burn, but what I can do, because I figured this out in my last run, or my last on-camera run, is we can actually check and see how much damage this has done, I believe. So 6,000 damage over the length of the intestine. So yeah, the burn is doing more damage than any of my other weapons. These sideways weapons, not so much. I probably need to get something else, maybe a melee weapon on those side arcs. Because they're both lower effect, they're lower level weapons, and they just shoot sideways. I like the shape of this evolution as well, because we're still very narrow, we're very small, so it makes it easier for me to dodge attacks. Oh, I broke the wall there. Okay, minus 50% projectile spread. I was saying projectile, I was reading projectile speed before someone pointed this out. So this makes our weapons have less spread. Much better. Extra stash slot, 200% damage, minus 50% for each weapon. Current negative 100%. Makes a random internal slot also accept external. I don't really love any of this, but let's get the minus projectile spread. That doesn't do anything to... It doesn't give me better firing arcs on the rear-facing guns, or the side-facing guns, but it's still fine, I think. Alright, harpoon that binds enemies to walls, but this would be firing sideways. Projectiles are pulled toward the organelle. Spawns 1 armor after being overcharged for 55 seconds, which is hard to do here. I don't think I care about any of these. Let's buy the DNA, and maybe I'll come back to the shop later. For now, let's go do the other rooms. I wouldn't mind a bouncing shot diffuser, which I have seen previously. We do get a little bit of a bounce, I think, from our projectile weapons when they hit the walls. They bounce like just a little bit, but not enough. Oh. Alright, probably against this type of enemy, I need to be fairly careful, actually, not to split it into 10 segments immediately. Really need more stamina as well. Alright, we got armor and health, and then we can get a bonus upgrade here if I can move into the area. Press E to explode, and lobs a delayed cross of lasers. Lasers hurt the player. Interesting. So I could have this fire lasers, like, out to the side, but they will hurt me. Let's try this. I don't know that I am feeling good about it, but I can always just put it somewhere else. So basically... Oh, I see how that works. Okay. Okay, so as long as I'm not moving into it or moving sideways too much, we won't get hit by it. But that is very dangerous. Makes the bullet hell aspects of the game more powerful. Well, that wasn't the laser that got me. That was just the enemy. Alright, I'm thinking I'm not good enough to use the lasers, even though they seem really strong. So we'll try to replace them with a different weapon. Oh no, I finished the room. I thought I couldn't take damage after I finished the room. Oh well. We'll unlock this, and I guess we get our health back. Got a bit of armor in this room. This looks like it's supposed to be some kind of secret boss room. Is this a code? Sure looks like a code. Is there a key press sequence I need to do? This is a question mark room. Alright. Not gonna figure it out on my first look at it, probably. Alright. They've cost me my armor. Yeah, I need to get rid of these lasers as soon as we're done this room. Too bad, because they're really cool, but... but I myself am too bad to use them. Got some bonus health here, and then I will put the laser in the stash slot. So unfortunately, we now have... We're missing an external slot, but hopefully we get it. Okay, so that was a heart. Basically threw away 5 money there. I'm sad about the laser, but it was defeating me very rapidly. Once you're good at this game, though, I bet that's an incredibly strong weapon. Need to get over here and pick up the DNA, but some of it timed out. Extra dodge charge, extra stash slot, extra stamina. Let's go with extra stamina here, because I am still running out of stamina. We'll pick up our armor. We'll head into this room. Sustained beam while held. Okay. So, basically, if I hold, we get a laser beam, and I can kind of sweep it. Okay. That's, like a laser, but a safe one. And then, I don't have enough money. Let's go do the boss. We can always come back to the shop or the heart if we need it. I'm definitely stacking a lot of burn on this enemy. No. I got myself sort of trapped in the corner there. Running out of stamina, but we'll leave these landmines. Stack some burn on all of them. Yeah, I need ways to refill my stamina. Because even with 3 slots, we're still getting... just completely running out. Oh, that enemy was fully invisible behind all the visual chaos. Alright, I'm gonna be very curious what the stats are on our weapon set after this boss fight. Okay, well, we got our full heal. I have 11. I don't think that's enough to buy anything, but let me check the stats on my weapons here. So 6,000 damage, 6,000 damage, 5,000, 1,000. Yeah. So I need, like, the minion launcher or something for these rear-facing slots. And, okay, so, destroys an organelle, permanently raising your max HP based on its rarity. Discharges accumulated electricity to nearby enemies, or creates an orbiting arc that improves attacks that pass through. And is this... It really should say external or internal on it. This says support. I don't know whether it's external or internal. Unless I'm just missing something. Obviously, you'll learn what these are as you play, but I think this symbol means internal, but it's not clear to me at all. Let's go with the galvanic sack. Okay, yeah, so that was internal. I'll put it in the stash because we're not keeping the Staurolauber. And then I'll just check the shop. Ossificator or Magnetosome. Yeah, no reason to pick up any of those. And I don't have the money for anything anyways. So on to the next area. Now, we're going into the stomach, and as I learned in my last run, the stomach has a timer mechanic, so we need to be fast. And given that we're a kind of low damage build, I am a little concerned about just running out of time and getting stomach acided. So I'm gonna take a few risks and try to play this one fairly quickly. I do like that the mines are pretty persistent. They stay on the field for a long time, which means that even after enemies have respawned later, you can still do well. Okay, so I could become the Diplodocus. This guy has basically a full circle at the front. It makes our lasers a little better. It means my landmine gets combined into one. Doesn't look like there's a way around that no matter what evolution I choose, if I want forward-facing stuff. So wait, so if I take this, yeah, these arcs don't fire forwards, so you basically have to fight broadside if you're one of those. Whereas this, we still get forward-facing firing arcs. What if I do this and we do like so, and then our laser shoots at the front? We have Pyrosome. I definitely want attached to at least one of my secretors, so let's do it this way. And then, yeah, so this way we should get reasonable fire, and then I can put this here. It discharges electricity to nearby enemies, and this should just passively lightning them, I think. This looks pretty good. And then I'm actually going to do this, I think, because this gives me a little more sideways momentum. We're very large now, unfortunately. I assume that the game doesn't make time that you spend in the pause screen count towards the stomach acid, but I guess I don't know that for sure. Can't be doing that badly, though, because we have a fire laser. Need to go grab that cash, and then we'll head back in here. Alright, press E to lash rapidly at nearby enemies. Press E to spawn a turret or the Sentry Mitochondrion. Let's go with spawn a turret. And I'll put that here where it can get charged. And then this, we don't need to get charged. It's better to have it charged, but I would much rather get our Sentry Nidus going and give us a little more damage. Hard to maneuver this character. Okay, I don't actually have enough forward momentum with this setup, so we're moving these to the back. again. Spawning my little turret. That's that thing, I think. Spawning my turret again. Oh wow, there's more enemies in this room? This room has so much stuff in it. Getting very nervous about how long it's taking to do this. First attack after 3 seconds deals plus 100% damage. When a burning enemy dies, the burn jumps to the nearest enemy, so we can stack up a bunch of burn, but let's go with even more stamina. And then up here, precise with high kinetic power. All right, well, we don't have a good firing arc on this, but, you know, we'll take another weapon. Head to here. All right, well, that was a nice contrast to the previous room. Let's see what we've got here. We have Entrant Mitochondrion to upgrade my charge, upgrade Organelle to a higher rarity. Yeah, let's do this, because I need to upgrade my charging capabilities, get my Centurionitis going better. Have to make these decisions fairly quickly again, because we're on a timer in this area. Oops. No. Alright, I'm taking some extra damage. I need more dodges, basically. Okay, it looks like there's some kind of secret. Oh, I can unlock for $10, but I don't have $10. So I guess that's a reason not to buy as soon as you get to the shop. Because you might see one of those. Okay. Slow to do these rooms, for sure. You also don't seem to get a great... you don't get great control over where your little sentry guy spawns. I'm pretty sure those spikes are damaging. Okay, so... Alright, so I can head to any of these areas. I don't have $10, but we do see the pink cloud. Oh, and I guess I have... Oh no, I just hit tab by accident. So I guess let's just do the boss, and we'll see if we can get the stomach boss down. Stacking up as much fire on it as we can. Get another sentry out there. Yeah, and that sentry spawned, like, way away from me. Thought I had dodged that in time, but clearly not. Head this way. I definitely want some more move speed. That's a thing that we're missing. It turned after firing its laser and almost outplayed me completely. Because we had the pattern showing where it was going to fire the laser, but then the laser turned after it had started firing. Okay. Minus 150% damage, we probably don't want. Gain a random attack infuser, could be good. 30% dodge cooldown, yeah, definitely getting the dodge cooldown. Attack supply burn, so I could upgrade my Pyrosome for more burn. I could get a Pyroflagellum, which could give me some more move speed, like we could combine our Flagella and pick this up. I could get Toxisome, attacks leave a toxic trail, but that I do like that, but I would have to place it somewhere. It would be really nice to put it somewhere like here, and get Toxin and Fire at the front, but then I'm losing out on the Oxysome. So I think I need to just do the Pyrosome, and then we'll upgrade our burn. Apply 7 burn per attack. And then I can quickly check the shop, and I can't afford anything, so we're back off to here. And we made it out of the stomach without the pink cloud getting me. And then we're on to, I believe the liver is next. Then I guess lungs, it looks like, from this map. Lungs or heart. Although, you know, once an infection has gotten your intestines and liver, it doesn't matter where else it goes. Okay, so this is a small open area with very high health enemies, and my damage is not really keeping up. I'm stacking a lot of burn, but the burn unstacks pretty quickly. I don't think there's a timer mechanic for the liver. Oops. Can't believe I got hit by that. I don't think there's a timer mechanic for the liver the way there is for the stomach. Put down my sentry, head over here. Try to kind of chip away at these enemies. Put down my sentry again. This is such an open area. There's nothing to hide behind. I need to kill that enemy with the long tentacles, because it's putting so much pressure on my movement. All right. We're probably doomed here. I did get a heart, but I just took 4 damage in that one room. It's too bad. I'm liking this build so far. Obviously, there's presumably stuff we could be doing better. Oh no, that's an environmental hazard too. Alright, there's a lot of environmental hazards in this room. All of those spikes, all of this stuff. And yeah, my character was just had a little too much junk in the trunk. So I died at the end there. Let's go and get an upgrade, because I now have 92 of this stuff. So I could start with DNA, start with 5 cores, overcharge strength, extra reward quality. As I have mentioned before, I really don't like that these just take the form of just pure stat upgrades and you just have to grind. Not my favorite form of meta progression, but what really gets me about this meta progression, not to complain too much because I'm really loving this game, but what really gets me about this meta progression is there's like 10 nodes and they for some reason have made it in this window that you can't zoom out, and so you have to scroll through it, even though it's such a small window. All right, let's go with, sure, we'll just go with this. Extra chance of greater rewards. I can't afford that, and we'll jump back in. I enjoyed this setup. We'll just go with it. Defeat the lung boss within 20 minutes. Well, that's not happening anytime soon. Equip 3 melee weapons. Defeat the stomach boss within 7 minutes. Also not happening. Certainly not on camera. And defeat the brain boss within 28 minutes. Okay. These are just for beating the bosses, holding a bunch of money. All right, cool. In we go. Had to wait for my stamina to recharge. I will say, like, this room seems especially dangerous to some builds in the early game. This one also, because it's got all environmental hazards. You can just swim into the sides of it and take damage. Alright, I could get more of that. I could get projectiles bounce. Let's get bouncing projectiles. That seems pretty fun. And then I think I'm going to go with this for now. Even though I prefer the overcharge to be on my weapons as well. But this way, yeah, we've got bouncing projectiles from our sideways facing weapons. That's something that we kind of wanted in our last one. This is another room that seems a lot harder than the ones we faced in our last skin attempt. Hit that landmine. Like, this one's easy. We'll check the shop, see what it has. We've got piercing laser of pure heat. Doesn't say it causes burn. After each kill, overcharge. Attacks have a chance to deal a critical strike. Okay, a lot of sales, which is nice. I'll buy the DNA and see what our evolution is. Extra damage, minus projectile spread. We'll just go with extra stamina. Maybe come back to the shop in a minute. Haven't really been offered more weapons, which is something that we need. We got some health there, and then we'll head over here. Oh, there's so many enemies. Yeah, I feel like we're getting all the hard room patterns. Okay, so I could go with the circle. I still like this one, I think. So if I go with the circle, yeah, because these still just have sideways firing arcs. They don't get to fire forwards. We do get to buff everything with the oxysome, only 2 of them with the elastisome. If I go with this, then elastisome and oxysome can each be buffing 3 things. I think this one's just the best. It gives you extra stamina and it has a good setup. Okay, shoots a multiplying virus. Stronger bacteriophages spawn when they kill. Alright, so what we're going to do there, I guess, is do this. And then we will put our caustic secretors at the front. This is what we wanted. Yeah, so now we've got these bacteriophages, and those can be pretty powerful, I think. Alright, that's cool. And head over here. I do have a stash slot. I could also combine my flagellums or combine my caustic secretors if we want one of these other things. So this is a laser. This is crit strike, overcharge after each kill. Do I want to just combine and get the lasers on the side? Probably. I think just continuing to upgrade my weapons is good. So we're going to do this. And then we'll go fight the boss. And then, yeah, we've just got like a fairly strong setup here, I think. The bouncing lasers are... I keep thinking, because they're orange, I keep thinking I have to dodge them. Alright, so I could get the oxysome upgrade. Ooh, enter vein. So is this like some kind of teleport? We can go somewhere different. Pyrosis. Press E to launch a bouncing fireball that bursts. Let's just go with the oxysome and upgrade it, because I can't do any of these other things anyways. And then, okay, we'll do enter vein. Interesting. So here, I can do Omnigraph. Turn a chosen slot into an Omni slot. And we sacrifice 2 health for this, I guess. So we're sacrificing max HP for a rare cryopulse, Omnigraphed, internal and external, or orbiting arc that blocks enemy projectiles, and then it overcharges, and it's epic. Don't think I want any of those, because we just don't have a good place to put them. The Omnigraft could be fine. We could turn our internal slots into accepting externals as well. But losing 2 HP, I mean, this just seems really rough. So we're not going to do anything in the vein. Cool that that exists, though. Clear the whole intestine. Yeah, I hate that the lasers are orange. I do like the bacteriophages. There's a lot of them. Oops. I tried to back up, but I couldn't do it in time. But hey, we got a health upgrade anyways. Any other enemies? Yes. And then here, okay, shop prices are cheaper. Your minions release 100 damage splash attack every time they're hit. That's gotta be great. Because now our bacteriophages will just explode. Pick this up, pick that up. Okay, and then we'll head back to the start and do some side rooms. So I'm just gonna send out the phages. Am I killing my own bacteriophages? Doesn't look like it, okay. They were dying pretty quickly, so I wasn't sure. But I think they just have no health. Oh, I should have checked their damage. I should have checked the damage after we cleared the large intestine. Head over here. Because I am curious how they're performing. We can check what happened in that room. 330, 664, 2000. Yeah, okay. That's about what I expected. Berserk, Vengeful, Helical Proboscis, so that's the drill. I don't think we really want any of these currently, but I will take the Berserk and put it in our stash. Alright, so if I let my... Okay, we got... Is that a big phage? Because we're supposed to get stronger ones after they kill something. I can't tell if there are stronger ones out here. I'll unlock this chest. Okay, it's just a heart. Maybe I shouldn't be unlocking those chests. It seems like they just have health in them. I think it goes by Rotato rules, where if you step on a spawn, if you stomp one of the spawn as it's spawning, then it just respawns somewhere else in the map. Don't love any of these. I guess we'll take the Argentic coating. Head in here, gain a random mitochondrion, upgrades an organelle, or a dash attack. Let's just upgrade these to legendary. I could upgrade my bacteriophages as well, but I feel like upgrading to legendary has to be good, right? I would like a rapid-firing melee attack of some kind before I get to the liver, because the enemy projectiles were so numerous in such a small space when we were in the liver last time. It was just very hard to dodge them. Let's check what's in the shop here. So we can buy DNA, we can buy Orbiting Blade. There's a fast attack. Sustained beam while held, and this is a rare weapon. So I could swap out my thermal lance for the beam again. And it's at least a rare quality weapon. We'll think about that. Now that I'm used to the thermal lance, I'm a little happier with it, just because it was making it hard for me to figure out what I was supposed to dodge, because it adds a lot of orange visual clutter to the map. Any other side rooms? Nope. So we'll do the boss, and then we'll decide whether we're swapping weapons. Whoa, look how many phages I have. Okay, well that was cool. Minus dodge cooldown, higher rarity. Let's go with dodge cooldown. Cryopseudopod freezes nearby enemies on contact, lash rapidly, spawns 1 HP after being overcharged. I don't think I care about any of those, so I guess I'm just gonna take the... So if I take the Cryopseudopod, so this is an external slot. Yeah, I guess the external ones are the kind of pear shape in the bottom left, the icon, and the internal ones are the circular shape. But that is a very subtle distinction, and it should just say it. Do I want to put this in, and then I would have to combine my flagella, and these have a very narrow rear-facing arc? I think I'm just gonna recycle those. And then do I want to swap out for the rare laser? Check my damage on this gun. It's doing 4,000, 3,000. Okay, so this gun is actually very good. I don't know that the bacteriophage launcher is tracking its damage correctly, but the thermal lance seems to be my best weapon overall, because it's doing that damage and it's at a low level. All right, onto the stomach, and we'll try to speed through this so that we don't get chased down by the acid. Lot of visual noise here. All right, I will spend 10 to unlock this, and we'll go into this room so I can get... do I just get to get all of these? Wow, what a good room. Okay, so we just got a ton of stamina. Oh, that's a lot of mine. Scary room. Didn't take any damage, at least. Okay, so now I get to decide if I am, how I'm increasing my character shape. This one has all of these slots that are just completely internal, and so they don't really do anything. Wait, it doesn't even connect to those? No, it has to be connected like so. Yeah, I don't think we can do this because it completely ruins all my connections. I think it might be this. We get extra HP. I get one more internal slot, so I can maybe charge my, I guess the elastisome. I don't really love any of these evolutions, but I could do something like this. And then we just have this set up for more attacks, the Diplodocus, but this guy, I don't like that it turns my legendary weapon into a single weapon also, but all of these do that. Whereas our current setup keeps it. But if we don't get more slots, I don't see how we can keep getting stronger. I think I'm going to try this one. We haven't done it yet, so let's go ahead and just set it up like this. It also keeps me relatively narrow, which makes it easier not to just take infinite damage. I'll buy this. Attacks improve over time. Hold to charge, that's a weapon infuser. Yeah, I don't have the ability to combine any weapons. I could combine some rear-facing stuff, but we don't want to do that, so maybe we'll come back to the shop if we get something else that we want. I don't know, I'm not really happy with the evolution options. And it's definitely decreased my damage a lot that we had to combine our caustic shooter there. So maybe I'm supposed to combine the lasers. Oops. I feel like the numerousness of the bacteriophages is the point. So that's 1100, 1100, 1300. So what if we do it like this? Maybe that's better. Extra attack speed, extra armor. We'll go with extra attack speed. Perforator tendril. So this is a melee weapon, which I could do like so. Let's stash it for now. I don't know if we get another shape evolution as well, or if we're in this shape for the rest of the run. I was planning to do the stomach run really fast, but the shape thing really threw me. At least we have a lot of max HP. Alright, we'll head in here. Concussive tendril, sympathetic detonator. Affected attacks explode while dashing. Wait, so does that work on my bacteriophages? Okay, I'm very curious how this will work. So if I put it here, it does seem to think that it's going to work. Do I want the perforator tendril? I'll keep the rare. We'll recycle that for now. So if I go to... Let me go to the map. So if I shoot this and then I dash... Okay, it doesn't seem like it's exploding my bacteriophages, so I'm not sure exactly how that works. Because a bunch of exploding guys seems pretty fun. I have to wait for my... my stamina to come back. Alright, we did it. Cryopulse. Beat the stomach without ever dropping below 6 HP, so that's nice. Explosions hurt the player. 10 successful attacks from connected organelles, or press E to release a pulse that erases projectiles and freezes. Okay, and we did it before the stomach acid closed in. I don't really have anything that I can use here, and none of these are rare or anything, so we'll just go ahead and... I'll keep this over the... No, I'm going to keep the perforator tendril in case we get more evolutions. I'm not sure how that works. And then I'll take some more attack speed. And then we are done with this room. So it's on to... Nope, wrong button. So it's on to the liver again. Basically just trying to max out as much damage on the field as I can. I don't know how I get out of this corner in this room, though. Oh, that explodes? Okay. That cluster attack exploding was pretty rough, too. I did not expect that. I thought I had found kind of a safe corner, but unfortunately not. We took some damage. I actually checked my damage here. So this did 2,000, that did 2,100, 5,000, 8,000, 3,000. And then this somehow did some damage, so something happened there. Can I see my passive? My minions? Yeah, we can't see how much the Nidal degranulation did, but that's okay. So, environmental hazard in the center I need to be aware of. I do like how our bacteriophages just, they seem to log up the enemies and prevent them from moving close to me. Environmental hazard in the center again, but we're just gonna send phages at them, I think. No. Don't do it. Okay. All right. So far, going well. Okay, good. These don't hurt me anymore. Maybe if they squash me into the wall, they will. Ooh, that was close to just hitting me as soon as I came out of that wall. Our character does kind of steer like a brick. Which, you know, that is what they say about the Coccus Magnus. It is how you use it. I don't want to spend too much money because we have the thing that gives me more damage when we don't spend our money, but I guess I'll unlock... Okay, we got a bunch of meta progression currency from that one. I don't know, I can't bring myself to not open a box in a game. These enemies have so much health, so I need to wait for... my stamina to return. At least this room gave us some cover. I feel like we've gotten easier patterns in this version of the liver than in our previous attempt. Also, my build is better, I think, but mostly these minions just seem unbelievably good. Not because they're doing a lot of damage, but because they are physically blocking the enemies, which just makes it easier. Extra dodge invulnerability. Yeah, let's go with that, I think. I don't care about this one that much. And then we'll head up here. Now, I am concerned that we simply won't have the DPS to kill the boss. No. My armor. Oh, my health! Yeah, without a way to break enemy projectiles, that's tough. Alright, let the attacks pierce. I could spend 7 on a health. I guess we'll save our money for now. Alright, up until that last room, I was feeling pretty good, but that one enemy fired so many shots, it just made things really complicated. Yeah, our bacteriophages are also blocking enemy attacks, which is nice as well. Okay, we'll grab our heal. We'll head into this room and see what we've got. Upgrade our oxysome. Seems good. Just increase our damage further on this thing that boosts all my damage. Head into this room, assuming I can just not walk into a wall for a second there. Okay, so this is a boss. I don't think it's not the zone boss. We just got a boss of some kind. Is this like a previous zone boss? I think this might be a possible skin boss. Giardio, which you get from drinking water that beavers have pooped in. Okay, I think this enemy has, yeah, when they're connected, they have like an invincibility mechanic, is what's going on there. That's why it was taking so long to kill it in that previous room. Sure, we'll take the 1 armor from that box, a little disappointing. Oh, the explosion enemy almost got me there. Give me that DNA. Well, that was an easy room. I wasn't expecting that. Let's head into here and see what this room is like. Okay, so yeah, this is definitely one of the bosses from a previous level. The blood monocyte. So I guess the liver can just spawn other bosses. Okay, so now we can evolve again. I don't want to get that wide. The Clostridium. This seems to be pretty similar to what we're doing. And it gives me it makes me very long, which I don't love. This is cool. But I don't know that that's what we want to do. All of these make you quite wide except for the Coccobacillus magnus, which also has the problem that these don't connect properly. We can't connect the elastosome to our projectiles. This one also has that problem. This one doesn't. We can connect at least a little bit, like we can connect the elastosome to some things. But it is also just a very bizarre setup. So I think what we're going to do here is this. We will not worry about the elastosome. And then I can connect these melee attacks. And we get some melee attacks, actually. I'm kind of considering, yeah, so the bacteriophage doesn't have to shoot forwards. So we can do this. And in fact, the phage can be like this. And then we've got our entrant mitochondrion boosting the oxysome and one of the phages, I guess. This is not triggering any attacks currently, so these 2 infusers aren't doing anything until we get some rear-facing attacks. But I think this is still the best option, the Clostridium here. And then we get, yeah, the melee attacks shooting forwards is nice as well. Okay, and then let's go here. I can get enemies killed by affected attacks explode. These are all infusers, and I really want something at the back here. Press E to reroll reward pedestals. Okay, that's interesting. So I could put it here and slowly charge it up. I guess it's the only one of these that currently does anything. Melee attacks gain bonuses from connected infusers. So, transfers attacks from melee weapons into projectiles. Not entirely clear what that means to me, but I guess we'll go with this and we can maybe get rerolls once every few rooms, because we just get 15 seconds every room, so every 3 rooms we can use the sequence scrambler. And then I will go over here. I'm going to play a little cowardly. Even though it costs me some damage, we'll buy the health. I don't think I'll buy the DNA, because it does cost me damage from my Argent Infuser. And then we're going to go see if we can beat the liver boss this time. Big sort of laser beams. Need to wait for my attack cooldowns to come back up. Blocking a lot of its projectiles between our melee attacks and the phages. What I'm worried about is I think it's going to go into a second boss stage when we get it below half health, probably, because that's how these games tend to work. I need some mechanic to help me reload. Oh, no. Alright, the tentacle hit me. Need to dodge those. Oh, I thought I had dodged all of that. No, okay. Taking a lot of damage now, because it's making more attacks in general. But we got it, and we've defeated the liver. Nice. Getting so much money here. After getting hit, overcharge, upgrade that. Press E to lash rapidly at nearby enemies. I guess I need the one that gives overcharge, even though... Nah, we'll just upgrade our sequence scrambler. Wait, can I... Actually, let's use my sequence scrambler. Yeah, I feel like there's got to be better stuff we can get. Okay. A projectile weapon, flexible energy lash, does good damage. Converts all equipped weapons into the selected one. So I could make every weapon, say, a caustic secretor, or every weapon a bacteriophage launcher. If this wasn't like my first run getting past the liver, I would definitely do that. I think what we're gonna do here is I will take the Actin Whip, because I just want more damage. And I'll put it here and we'll kind of see how that works. Okay, that's cool. I like that. I definitely need more stamina now. And then there's no hearts or anything I can pick up. Let's check the shop again, just in case there's something I want. I guess I will buy the DNA now, and then we'll head on to the next zone, which I haven't been to yet. Here we go, and we're on to the lung. Just one lung, not both lungs. Oh, I didn't have attacks or dodge cooldown ready. I need to pick up this DNA, because the DNA drops do timeout. So if you kill enemies and then don't pick up the drops, you lose value. Looks like there's another one of these unlock rooms. Wow, okay, just 30% bonus damage. So worth spending the 10 money there. Then we'll head into this next room. So the little $5 chests, I can kind of take or leave so far. We've gotten some good rewards and some pretty bad rewards. Right. We can't hurt the enemy until we've killed the one connecting to it, I think. Yeah, this enemy seems to buff its allies and make them damage resistant or maybe even invincible. Next mutation you pick is applied twice. 15% damage. So this is just 15% damage for the first 15 seconds. Or I could take this and increase the damage there. Let's do that. Then I'll check the shop and see. Look at our how squishy our guy is at the top right, top left there. Press E to explode. Always fun. A perforator tendril, a flagellum. Okay, I'm gonna want the flagellum, probably. I guess I'll buy it now and get a flagellum upgrade, because I'm feeling very slow. These are not useful currently, but maybe we'll find a way to use them later. I'm going to pass on the rest of this for now, because we still want to save money. And then we'll head into this room. Oh, I don't know what that was. Big bomb. I will say that the lung feels like it feels much easier than the liver so far. Obviously, I could just be getting easy room patterns and stuff. The liver felt like a huge difficulty spike because we're in such a small area with such dangerous enemies. The lung doesn't feel that way currently because we just have more room to maneuver. So even though these enemies are scary and, you know, fire a lot of projectiles and everything, I'm just not feeling the same level of threat that I was in the liver. We'll pick up that armor. But is this a thing? It showed up on the map, but I'm not sure if it was a thing or not. Oop. I don't know what hit me there, actually. I must have walked into something. Okay, that enemy does a little laser. Looks like there is an environmental hazard there of some kind. I feel like this bacteriophage organelle is just ridiculous. It just feels so strong because it's blocking so many attacks and like moving enemies around for me and stuff. Oh, okay. If I hit that, it releases like superheated air or something. Hard to tell exactly what all... No, it's just kind of doing that all the time. Hard to tell exactly what all the environmental hazards are for plants while also actively trying to dodge them, of course. Kill that enemy because it connects to everything. Make our way around here. Wait for the stamina to regenerate. Yeah, so we can hurt the enemies when they're being buffed, just not by much. So let's get this one out of play. And now I can get the rest of everything. Oh. Okay. Ouch. Those guys are fast. Alright, I'm starting to see the difficulty of the lung boss, or the lung zone appear. Speaking of the lung boss, there it is. We also... One thing that is different about this zone is it's given me many fewer upgrades so far. I just haven't gotten a lot of opportunity to upgrade my character. I don't know if that's normal or if that's just the specific order that this specific version of the rooms happen to happen in. Those little guys are really scary. They have projectiles, they have a dash attack. There's multiples of them because it seems like they split out of the other enemies. This seems to just push and not actually damage. Oh, it pulls now. Okay. I'm still not sure if it damages. Yeah, so is this a thing? Shoot that. It is a thing. It's a gigantic bomb. Cool. Destroys an organelle, and we gain max HP, or upgrade an organelle to a higher rarity. I think I want this, though the max HP is fairly tempting because my health is low. But let's take this, and I'm going to upgrade my bacteriophage launcher, I think. Let's check the damage. So 1200, 500. Yeah, our phage launcher is actually doing the most, so let's upgrade that as well. And then we're going to head back over to here, and we'll do another room. Okay, multiple connecty enemies. Little buffing guys. So I'm trying to work my way around and clear those out. Nope, nope. Oh, I dodged so badly there. I just walked into the attack as a result. Clear that stuff. We'll get whatever this is that spawned behind me. Wait for my stamina to return. Okay, fully restore HP. Active abilities require less. Let's go with that just because my health was pretty bad, and I would like to at least check the, I'd like to try the lung boss, even if we don't have a build capable of beating it yet. Had to dodge through those. Have to kill these guys because they're making the other enemies invincible. Getting pulled into that little geyser area. Trying to keep good damage on these enemies while I chase them around. Trying to keep a bunch of bacteriophages flying around the place as well. Okay, okay. Good so far. We still have a heart on the ground as well. For when I next take damage. Which I just did. Oh no, okay. So that thing is sharp and pulls us towards it. That enviro hazard. So I need to be really careful not to get too close to that thing. Nice. Okay, and it still is going to pull me, but it's no longer sharp, so it doesn't matter. I guess I'll take this, and we got a point of armor. That's fine. We'll head up here. Okay, rare ephemeral dorsal lysosome. Backstabs deal 300% damage as an attack infuser. Destroys itself in 10 rooms. Okay, I haven't seen that. Now, attack infusers don't do that much. I guess I'll take the capsid flail, because I can put this here at least. And then we have another melee attack, basically just to break projectiles. It also, because it explodes when dashing, we do get a dash explosion, I think. I'm not sure if that's triggering. But seems powerful. And then let's grab this health. Let's check the shop again real quick, just to see if there's anything I want here. I could upgrade my perforator tendrils, so we could get an epic version of those. What is the... it's the argentic coating. So it's currently, it's 0.5% damage, so it would cost me 10% damage to buy this for 20. I don't think that's worth it. Just 10% global damage to upgrade one weapon. All right, let's go to the boss. The lungworm. Okay. Definitely don't want that. Oh, wow. It melted that immediately. That terrain feature. You can see the terrain features are taking damage and getting melted, but we're also doing good damage to the lungworm. I don't know if it has 2 stages, or if my damage is just really powerful against it for whatever reason. It probably, looking at it, has multiple stages. Yeah, that's what I thought. Ooh, that's a big explosion. All right, so I guess the goal is to not lose all the cover in the room in the first stage of the lungworm fight, which I did. Because now I'm having trouble not getting hit by stuff. Let's dodge around, and we'll head over here, keep some DPS on it. Okay, there's a second lungworm out now, too. So it made another little one. Ooh. Dang. I just didn't have enough dashes. But we were close. I actually was pretty close to killing it if I had a little more damage. I think getting the capsid flails there actually kind of ruined me. Getting the melee weapons that I put on at the end, because they were eating so much stamina, we just didn't have the damage. So I actually think I should just not have equipped those at all, and then that would have increased my DPS, because I kept running out of stamina and not being able to dash, not being able to use my abilities. But that was very close, and we got to the lung boss, which I'm pretty happy about. Pretty fun upgrade to how far we've gotten. Hope that you enjoyed this run, and we'll be back with more Pathogenic, I think. I really enjoyed this, and it seemed like people like it. As always, of course, if you have enjoyed the video, then feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Pathogenic and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.